What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my on the review of Married to Medicine. I know it's very, very late. I did not review last week's episode because I just wasn't in the mood for it, but it was a good episode nonetheless. These are the Cliff Notes versions. Heavenly has a half brother that she's trying to have a relationship with. She also planned a family reunion to bring him along, to introduce him to her family, as well as all the other ladies invited their family members. A really good turnout. Angel and Toya are going to have an issue that I don't think is a big issue for them to have. Quad and King did not have a good IVF retrieval. Their eggs did not take. And Cecil and Simone are not in a good place in their marriage. So now we transfer into the new episode. Angel was inviting some of the ladies over, Mimi, Heavenly, and Quad. Heavenly complained about how far Angel lived. I don't know the streets of Atlanta that well, so does Angel live far or does Heavenly live far? Who knows? So Quad says in her confessional she's not ready to tell the girls that this round of IVF did not take. So she's trying to take her time and talk about it when she's ready. Everybody had a good time at Heavenly's reunion. She's very happy that her brother came. And this is also where she's going to reveal she is officially starting her campaign launch. Excuse me. She wants to get the people to vote. She was a child that didn't have a lot growing up, so she wants to be the voice of the people. And this is where Angel was kissing Heavenly's ass is a little bit too much for my taste, because she wanted to say that Heavenly was a big sister to her when she introduced her little friend, Mr. B or Dr. B, and to tie in that I didn't get that same response from everybody, meaning everybody's talking about Toya. Toya did not welcome Dr. B in a good way, and she didn't like that. So I'm like, okay, I understand what Toya did bothered you, but don't put all that on Heavenly. Give Heavenly some time, okay? So Angel is trying to say that Toya broke girl code because Toya talked about how Angel asked her to hook her up with somebody in front of Dr. B. And they were like, oh, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. So in Angel's confessional, she's making it seem as if that Toya messed up her situation. Did she mess up the situation? This guy has been waiting in the wings for 10 years. You've also been in other relationships since then. You've had children since then. You've been engaged before. So what's going on here? Like, if this man is now coming back into the picture because you're figuring things out, so I don't think that Toya saying that could have messed up anything. So she keeps on going on about how I'm learning her, I'm trying to get to know her, but I don't deal with those type of bitches. These are not the type of bitches that I'm around. And I'm just like, are you looking to have a problem with Toya? Because everybody's having a problem with Toya. Because just a couple of episodes ago, you were defending Toya against Heavenly. And now, since she did something to you that bothered you, now you're saying, I don't like Toya. That's flip-flopping to me. Because I don't think what Toya did really bothers you that much. Because in the missing trailer, you're going to invite this guy onto the couples trip. So did she really mess up your situation? Are you dragging it? Because I don't want you to drag this, because this isn't a big issue to me. And then to say that Toya is not a girl's girl. And it's like, who are you sitting in front of right now? You're sitting in front of Heavenly, who is not a girl's girl. But if you want to ride for Heavenly for the time being, ride for Heavenly for the time being. Just give Heavenly some time. She's going to expose you without any hesitation. Just wait. All right? And then we're discussing Simone looking up other people's information and how she told Heavenly that she thought she could have Quad's VIN number to look up her Rolls Royce. You know, Quad was so flabbergasted when she first heard about it. And she just like, I don't understand what friends look up other people's information like that. And I want Quad to stop lying to me. Quad, you looked up other people's information as well. You were the one who spoke about Toys and Eugene's finances and how they got their house. You said she begged, borrowed, and stole in that exact order. Stop playing with me. You looked up Lisa Nicole's cloud information. Did she do it to you first? Absolutely. But you also did in retaliation. So it's just as easy to access your information. It was easy to access hers too. So stop. Don't play this game of amnesia. I'm not feeling it. I'm not. And Heavenly is a snake. When she's talking about how Simone got a lot going on in her household and her marriage, she got to figure out what's going on. She can't be here deflecting, projecting, piling on everything. I don't like the diagnosis they gave to Simone, because at the end of the day, even if Simone is going through a lot, at least she's talking about it. Heavenly, you don't talk about your shit. You don't address what you got going on. You hide from your shit. You deflect from your shit. And this is you deflecting from what you don't want to talk about, and you put all that on Simone. And she had a vulnerable moment with you, Heavenly. At Brandy's dinner, y'all both had a heart-to-heart about what y'all got going on. You told her you are worried about your son. You don't know where he is ever since you cussed him out and he moved out of the house. Simone tells you she don't want to deal with nobody that's the last name Whitmore. She's feeling unappreciated. She's feeling tired of being used by her husband and her two ungrateful ass sons. So this is another testament where you can't tell Heavenly shit. You would think a private conversation that was had between two women who are bonding would have not been used against her, and it turns out it's being used against her. And Heavenly did that shit. Oh, I can't stand Heavenly. So while they're having their hangout, we got Toya, Contessa, Simone, and Brain. They had their little lunch. We can now see that the group is divided. We got two cliques forming. Which cliques y'all want to be a part of? And they're letting Contessa know about what happened at the reunion because she didn't make it. Her daughter had a pageant. They talked about Heavenly having a brother. They wonder if there's a DNA test being implemented. Turns out we don't know if Heavenly did a DNA test. And then with Heavenly with the other girls, she said she didn't do a DNA test, but she and her brother are open to having one. How can you bring a man that you don't even know onto the show under the guise of him being your brother? Because he might have information, he might look like a family member, but you don't have real proof that he's your brother. That's dangerous. You are a public figure. You should know not to bring anybody onto this show without having proof first. So then Toya talks about what happened at the reunion where she addressed Angel about wanting to hook her up with somebody, someone that Eugene knows very well. And she said in front of Dr. B, they were like, girl, no, you didn't do that. That wasn't cool. And Toya did not look at it that way. She is the one that's feeling offended because she said, I was going to hook you up with someone that I view as family. And I put myself out there to have you meet with him. And you do that? You playing in my face? I don't think she was playing in your face, though, Toya. I can understand that you are vouching for this person, you speak highly of this person, but I wouldn't do that to my family friend. I would not put them in that situation. If Angel got a man that's been in and out of the picture for 10 years without having a clear confirmation about whether or not that's her man and that's his girl, I wouldn't put my friend through that. But I do think that, Toy, you are being a bit too sensitive and you are reaching to have an issue that I don't think is there. So I think that there are both right and wrong feelings in this matter. Toya, you should not have gotten that offended because Angel got a friend that she's been trying to figure things out with. And I don't think that Angel should create an issue out of this. I don't. So while there's a whole lot of mess happening in the group, Contessa thinks that maybe we should plan a girls trip. Remember the last time there was a girls trip, Contessa? You wanted to fight Heavenly because talk about your mother who passed in 2010. So you want to plan this girls trip? Okay. Well, hey, you want to restart everything, get back to a good place, figure it out where we're going. All right, that's on you, Contessa. Moving on. We got Heavenly. Oh wait, before I move on, let me just say this. I also feel like, Toya, you can't say that you did a lot for Angel when you haven't even introduced her to anybody. You've been talking about introducing her to somebody, but you haven't really done it. So you can't really get this mad about what Angel got going on because that's Angel's life. She is a free agent. She could do what she wants to do. All right? So now I'm moving on. Heavenly. Heavenly has her official campaign launch. We're at some type of parking lot. I don't know if it's downtown Atlanta. There's a whole bunch of tall buildings around them. It is hot as hell. So this was definitely the summertime in Atlanta. There's only a few tents open. Everybody's in the hot sun, fanning themselves. And she hired Quad to be her campaign manager. I instantly thought it was a joke because out of all people, you hired Quad. I'm not saying Quad wouldn't know what to do, but if you really are serious about running for state rep, you should have hired someone who knows how to run a campaign, who knows how to be a campaign manager. And Contessa, Brandy, and Toya were walking up, and Contessa has friends that are in the political field, and they were messaging her, wondering if Heavenly's being serious about it, because they don't think this is the right way for her to do it. But people have all kinds of ways of putting up rallies and all that kind of stuff. They do it at hospitals, they do it at county buildings and parking lots. You got to start somewhere. But what Heavenly needs to worry about is how to talk to people. Because while they were coming in, she was trying to cuss them out, rush them into finding seats. Come on now, I ain't got all day. Y'all got to hurry up and fill these seats now. Don't expect for people to show up because you're talking to them crazy. You got to be prepared. You might even get 5 people or 50 people. You're going to have a proper spirit and a proper way of speaking to people if you want them to hear you out. Talking to them like that is not going to get people to want to hear you out. So Quad did her speech about how she's very honored to be her campaign manager. Toya shades Quad, wondering did Heavenly hire her because she needed the job. I was like, damn, Toya, please don't do that. So Heavenly gets in her speech, but I feel like she wanted to garner sympathy for what happened with her son. Her son was arrested, and I don't think that Heavenly was telling the whole truth about her son's arrest. Knowing that your son was the one who displayed violence against a police officer is the reason why he has a court case. And to say that her son is a victim, I'm like, is he a victim? Now, I understand when she said that the ages between 23 and 27 are the ages of men who have been slain by police. She's not wrong in that factor, but I don't think that her son is a part of that conversation. And did you get approval from your son to use his arrest as a way for you to introduce it to your political campaign? And if you're not going to be honest about what really happened, who are we supposed to feel sorry for? Because there are other people who have been a victim of police violence, who have been a victim of police brutality, that people can understand and really feel for. I don't think people can feel for you, because is it about you or is it about your son? So I think she needs to change her mission statement just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And you hear Toya in her seat talking while Heavenly is talking, saying that's the best you got to do your research. I mean, listen, while people were wondering why was Toya there, she don't want to support, she's here to get a check, and she's here to see what Heavenly is all about. So Heavenly thanked everybody for coming out and supporting her, even though one person hasn't been on board. We know she meant Toya, but again, you didn't have to say that. Toya felt like she was being bullied into supporting her, but who does that? Heavenly. Heavenly can't even have a decent speech for getting the people to come hear herself out without shading somebody. Instead of focusing on who isn't here to support you, how about focus on who is here to support you? That's what you were supposed to do. And you can't always get mad that not everybody wants to vote for you. So Toya came, she conquered, she's leaving. She did send notes to Simone, who was running late. And the only notes that she sent was the fact that Heavenly said that Toya wasn't supporting her. But that was it. That was all. Jackie stayed behind and talked to Quad and asked, is it a real thing? It is a real thing. Then Jackie said she's not really into politics. Are you for real though, Jackie? Was it last season or the season before? You bragged about having a one-on-one meeting with Vice President Kamala Harris about the mortality rates on black women dying in childbirth. But then we saw how you really feel about women who are pregnant. So how are you to say you're not really into politics? I just don't think that you believe that Heavenly should be into politics. I don't think you believe that Quad is qualified enough to be a campaign manager, because you're looking down on the fact that Quad don't have nothing else under her belt, thinking that you have everything. You have the credentials. So I say that Jackie feels slighted that Heavenly didn't ask her to be her campaign manager. You don't know everything, Dr. Jackie. You don't. So move on from there. Stop hating. And Contessa asked Heavenly, why did you choose Quad to be your campaign manager? She said, because me and her are very close. She's a tough cookie. She's a smart cookie. She catches on quick. We know that about Quad. But can she really handle this? And are you really serious about this? So Contessa gives Heavenly her flowers. That she's very smart, very business driven. She may be an asshole of a friend, but she knows what she's talking about. So Contessa is now convinced she's going to support Heavenly. Fine. Okay, so we now have Mimi, Angel, and Brandy. They're talking, and then Mimi begins to question Brandy about if she's going to support Heavenly. Brandy said, I'm not too sure. I need to see more of her. I need to get to know her as a person before I just easily endorse her. And Mimi said that that's fair. Now, Brandy was in her confessional talking about how she is deeply invested into politics. She loves it. But when she sees Heavenly's campaign, she sees a circus. So I didn't like the fact that Mimi kept on questioning Brandy as to why she isn't supporting Heavenly when she just told you why she isn't supporting Heavenly. She gave you a reason. She has her reason. She can have her opinion. Then Mimi wanted to make it known that she heard Toya and her talking about Heavenly during her speech. But Brandy didn't say anything. Even flashback, I only heard Toya talk. So she was like, first of all, I don't know what you're trying to say. Toya isn't want to talk, so if you want to know what Toya said, ask Toya. But if you heard Toya talk, then why are you questioning Brandy about talking during Heavenly's speech if you know what she said? And Brandy is peeping Mimi's energy, because why is she going so hard? It's like you're trying to say, come on this side. This is the cool kid side. But I'm with Brandy. Are you a part of the cool kids crew, Mimi? Because what's this? It's giving me too much energy. And then Mimi went too far to say you need to be careful who you're aligning yourself with. So you got to be careful who's in your circle. Brandy was like, who are you talking about? I'm talking about Toya. Excuse me, is that any of your business of who Brandy is cool with? You don't know Brandy. So why are you telling her who she needs to be friends with? That's not your place. And it's because she's assuming that Brandy does what Toya does. Oh, I just assume you do what everything Toya does, because did you hear Toya shade Heavenly during her speech? And yeah, did you hear Heavenly shade Toya during her speech, Mimi? But here's what I'm recognizing. You are not going to call out the shade that Heavenly throws Toya because you think that it's justified for Heavenly to throw shade at Toya, but it's unjustified for Toya to throw shade at Heavenly or anybody else. Got it. And I'm with Brandy. She said, well, first of all, I don't need your diagnosis. Why are you here? Walk away. This is not your job to tell me who I need to be friends with. Don't tell me who I need to be friends with. Don't tell me who I need to recognize who I'm being friends with. That's not your place. It's mine. Get out of my face with this shit. And I appreciate Brandy's energy towards Mimi, and I appreciate her standing up for herself, because who the fuck is Mimi? Mimi just got here. This is your second season. You don't have no right to tell anybody who they need to be friends with, and you don't have no points on trying to pull somebody onto your side, because it's giving me that you don't want to figure things out with Toya because you're still mad that she kicked you out of her house. You're still mad she called you a hater bitch, and you're assuming that Brandy should be on that same energy because she almost kicked her out too. She called her a name as well. What you don't know is, Mimi, is that Brandy and Toya fixed their problems. Brandy apologized to Toya, and they moved on since then. You're the one that's still holding an issue. So let this be your issue with Toya. Don't make everybody else have an issue with Toya because you have one. That's some high school shit right there. So I don't know where Mimi got off with doing that to Brandy. It wasn't necessary. Then she says in her confessional, she might want to be Toya. Who said that? You going so hard for Heavenly for what? Make it make sense. Then Simone came. She wants to know what was going on. Brandy pretty much said, don't worry about it. It ain't even nothing. And Mimi is still with that energy. And then she wants to say how Brandy responded to it was aggressive. No, you were aggressive. You were the one who came up to her and questioned her about why she shouldn't be friends with Toya. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I really don't like that. And it's given like Mimi is becoming a Jackie to me. Because the shade she's trying to showcase, the diagnosis she's trying to create for people, the psychoanalyzing she's trying to do, it's like, don't ma'am, don't come over here with that shit. You can't place people in boxes because you can just easily pinpoint how they're behaving. You can easily pinpoint their personality traits without knowing them as an actual person. Nobody needs your help to dissect and diagnose who was a real friend, who was an ain't shit ass friend. Nobody needs your help, Mimi. They'll figure it out on their own. Go sit somewhere else. Go. Moving on from there. That really solidified where I'm not gonna like Dr. Mimi moving forward. I'm not. That was pretty much the nail in the coffin for me. So now we have Jackie and Simone. They have their annual lunch, where Simone is telling Jackie that she's going to stop delivering babies. She's going to drop the OB and lean towards the GYN. Pretty much take care of the women after they've had children. Keep their bodies good and everything. And she said she's delivered thousands of babies, and she is burnt out. I would say she is. I'm congratulating Simone on taking control and steering the course of her career in the way she wanted to go. So now she's getting back to herself. She also tells us that when Cecil left corporate America, he left an amazing salary. And that was back in 2018. So Cecil has not punched the clock, brought any real money in about 8 years. Again, he is in real estate. But does his real estate income match what he used to make in corporate America? Probably not. So Simone has said she has definitely have been resenting him for that. Was it a unanimous decision that Cecil decides to leave corporate America? Did he talk about it with Simone, or he just did it? And Simone never really expressed how it made her feel, because she says she has been the main source of income for all that time. Damn. I could bet she's been resentful towards Cecil. He ain't done shit but being a stay-at-home dad, cooking and cleaning and supporting his sons for mistreating his wife and their own mother. That's some bullshit right there. So she said there have been a lot of things that have bothered her in her marriage, but she said the sex is still good. She still gets wet, still gets orgasms. It takes a minute for her to get the orgasms, but she still gets them. Is that enough to sustain a relationship? You're not being satisfied in other areas, but you're still getting good sex. I don't know if that's enough. And Jackie says, well, we can never tell if you and Cecil have an issue because you guys have such a good time together. Are y'all faking the funk? Maybe, maybe not. She says it is true. We do have a good time when we're out, but I sometimes choose to not want to be out with him because I don't want to be out with him. I don't want to be around him, which is very honest to say. And I don't know if Jackie was really listening to Simone, because I think she just gave off her own diagnosis of the situation. She said it was menopause. It was the combination of her explosive behavior, and say that's life. Marriage is hard. Are you listening, Jackie? Simone is telling you, I'm not getting satisfied in my marriage other than sex. My husband doesn't support me. My kids don't appreciate me. I'm not happy. Instead of Jackie trying to tell her what she should do to stay in it, she's not giving her the proper space to be like, so what you want to do? As much as I would want to be here for you to stick it out in your marriage, I'm also going to be here for you if you don't want your marriage anymore, because you're my friend and I want you to be happy. That's not what Jackie was doing. So Simone said Cecil is not feeding her emotionally. He's stuck. He's stubborn. He can't see past himself. She doesn't want to enter her golden years as well as get into her retirement, financially carrying the men in her life that don't appreciate her. And if she has to leave Cecil behind, she has to leave him behind. So be it. I think she should leave him behind. I think she should separate herself from Cecil. She should take a break from him and the raggedy ass boys. Let her do stuff for herself. Let them figure it out for themselves. Let Cecil figure out how to take care of the household without her money. Let the boys figure out how to live their life without their mama's card. Let them do it. I want Simone to live for her, love herself, and be by herself. Maybe that'll make the relationship even better. If they are not married anymore, they could probably become the best of friends, and they have their own arrangement going on that is operating on what she wants, not what nobody else wants. I don't want nobody at the reunion trying to convince Simone to stay in his marriage with Cecil. I think she regrets not divorcing him 8 years ago. Maybe she wouldn't have been so miserable since then. This is probably your second chance of saying, I don't want this no more, and you should do it. So I am not against Simone in this. I appreciate her being open and honest about what has transpired in her marriage with Cecil. So when Jackie said, I think you're headed towards divorce, she says, that's the probably worst thing? It's not the worst thing. If it could better your relationship, it's probably the greatest thing you could ever done. But moving on from there, we have Angel. She is headed to her event to showcase her new fall scrub line. She is a founder of the fall line. I think it's called Life Angels. She is a full-time registered nurse, so she knew that going into the nursing field, the scrub game was horrible. There was no fashion in scrubs. It was all one size, one color, not really showing no shade, no elasticity. So she wanted to create something where everyone can be comfortable with being a nurse. And I applaud Angel for that. I think Angel had this business when she was on Basketball Wives and is still standing after all these years. Congratulations to Angel. Now, everybody came in metallic, and I think that was the color scheme. Contessa came in theme for the first time, but Contessa was also doing way too much in her confessional, acting confused about not understanding why the scrubs have to be connected to space. Well, it's futuristic. Is leaning towards the future of what it used to be. You know, in the past, there was always one style, one size of a scrub. Nobody ever thought that they can make scrubs be fashionable, be comfortable, be something that could be nice to wear, something that could be lounge apparel or anything of that nature. So I just feel like Contessa is just fucking miserable. She always got to shade somebody else's event, downgrading it like it's not a big deal. It's like, fuck you, Contessa. Then we got Simone and Cecil. They arrived together. They were making comments about whether or not Simone can get an ass in the scrubs. And if she was to get an ass, Cecil will buy the whole lot. Quad came in wearing the scrubs. She looks amazing. Then we get Simone and Toya. They were talking to Heavenly about how she acted her political campaign and that she's going to have to come up with a way to convert Brandy and Toya to be on her side to hear what she has to say. Because then Simone mentioned the notes that Toya sent her while she was in traffic. And it was pretty much about you calling out the people who weren't supporting you. You can't do that. You have to focus on who's there to support you. So Heaven didn't want to hear it. She wanted to walk away. They were like, oh, you running away? You can't do that if you're in a debate. People debate for a long period of time, standing for a long period of time. You're going to have to respond. So I got to respond to this shit. I'm leaving. I'm not in a campaign mode right now. I'm ready to have a good time. We're here to support Angel. So I'm going to walk away. Here's my thing. I get that Simone and Toya were trying to test Heavenly about how you got to learn how to handle being in this type of environment, because you are going to be a part of a political debate soon. You're going to deal with a whole lot of people from different realms discussing different topics and subjects, and they might come at you hard, and you're going to have to handle it and reply back to them. They're not going to hold no punches. So can you handle that? If you can't handle Simone and Toya going back and forth with you, you can handle a whole group of people coming at you. But I do agree, this wasn't the space for that test. This is about Angel. So Heavenly can walk away. She doesn't have to deal with this. Quad came in trying to diffuse it because she is her campaign manager. She can't be in any type of fights while running the campaign. So I get that. But this is where Simone was starting shit when she wanted to discuss to Toya about what Heavenly has done. But she had to stop herself because she wanted to wonder why Mimi was there. She said, why are you here? Why don't you be with your crew? Mimi was like, oh, you want me to leave? I can leave. No, we're not asking to leave. We just recognizing that you don't want to be around us. So why are you here? You know, Mimi was trying to be a scout to wonder what was said about Heaven. She can go back and run and tell that. But Contessa has no clue about what has transpired between these two. So she wants to know, what is the issue between Mimi and Toya? Mimi does stand on the fact that she did tell Brandy that she needs to be careful who she's aligning herself with, and that's pertaining to Toya. Toya said, we need to be careful of you because you're not our type. Go over there with your crew. We don't want you over here. And I am not mad at Toya for getting Mimi's ass, because who the hell wants to be psychoanalyzed by somebody all day, every day? Girl, go over there with that shit, because you cannot be the judge, the jury about how somebody is operating and thinking that everybody's supposed to just follow what you're saying because you're a psychiatrist. Bitch, who the fuck are you? Then, because you felt the wrath of Toya, you want to keep on harping on how everybody has felt the wrath of Toya and everybody needs to be against Toya. Like you talking about how Brandy was cussed out by her, she was kicked out of her house. Well, she figured that out. They're still cool. You're the one that is still upset, and you want to stay upset. You want everyone to be upset because you're upset. That's not going to work. Then she kept on going on about how Toya has to tear other people down to lift herself up. Who hasn't done that in this group? Toya isn't the only one that does that. Everybody does it. Jackie does it. Heavenly does it. Simone does it. Everybody in this group have talked down to somebody to lift themselves up. Don't make it seem this is only a Toya thing. I don't like Mimi's wording. She keeps on saying that this bucking energy she's getting from Brandy and Toya is not what she wants. Well, you keep on inviting it. Like, Mimi, that's going to only get you so far when someone's going to question as to why you always walk away from conflict you're creating. To say you're disengaging because somebody's giving that same energy, then don't start shit. Like, just because you're a psychiatrist, I mean, you can't get checked. Keep in mind. Angel came down looking like metallic Barbie. Everything was gorgeous. Okay, she unveils her scrub line. Everything is great. It caters to all women of all shapes and sizes and ethnicities. And shout out to you, Angel. You have created a very lucrative business. So Contessa wants to bring all the ladies together to apologize for missing the event. And she wants to create a girls trip for everybody. Everyone wants to know where we're going. Is it going to be a sunny area, a beachy area? She said, I'll figure that part out, but I want us to get back into the sisterhood. I want us to talk about our problems. We can fix the mistakes. We can apologize for them. We're going to move on. We're not all perfect. All right. So that was agreed. And then Angel decides to confront Toya about what kind of friend she is. Toya was like, what do you mean? I mean, I'm getting to know you, right? But there have been some things that has made me look at you a different kind of way. Toya was like, okay, we can do a one-off. You know what I'm saying? We can, table it and we can discuss it. And then Angel kept on going on about how I'm a different kind of person. I don't allow other people into my space, and you have done some things that have bothered me. And Toya was like what? I don't want to get into it. I'm just not a fake person to not let you know that I have been bothered by the things you've done. But if you're not going to address it, then why mention it? That's the only thing that I'm bothered by. Okay, I am really bothered by you not going into detail about it, because if Toya agreed to do a one-off, y'all can discuss it. You could have just left it at that. You didn't have to go more and more into how she made you feel some type of way without explaining to her what were the things she's done that have made you feel some type of way. I feel like you could have just pulled her to the side and said that. I feel like you just wanted to air her out and put her on blast because you were put on blast and it bothered you. So you wanted to follow behind Mimi, who wanted to confront Toya about how she is not someone people need to be friends with. You did the same thing in return. I don't know, that really didn't sit well with me, Angel. So then once that was said, Heaven decides to lean over to Simone and says, you're going to have to learn that too. And is reading off as, you got to have proper people in your space. You got to learn how to trust certain people. You're not around people you need to be trusting. And Simone was like, you know, girl, I'm good. But it's the pot calling the kettle black, because Heavenly, are you really someone people can vouch to be a good friend? You can't be a good friend without airing somebody else's personal business. And it's showcased right here, right now, because here goes Quad out of nowhere, starts to question Simone about looking up the VIN number. And Simone was like, I don't look up VIN numbers. I look up properties and real estate. And then it went haywire. Quad is being pulled back by security. She's cussing, saying, pull it up, you bad bitch. Pull it up, you bad motherfucker. I live well. You mad because I live well. And it's just like, how did it get here? All of this because of a VIN number that Simone didn't even have. She said, if I had it, I would look it up. That means she don't got it. So because somebody was talking about getting it, you get this upset? And Simone was like, listen, if the VIN number fits, bitch, wear it. If the car is yours, roll up in it. Why would you get mad about somebody wondering if a car is yours or not yours? This really is an issue for you? Yes, Simone shouldn't be looking up nobody else's information, but all y'all do it. But Quad, you should not be this upset about somebody wondering. Like, stop. It's not that serious to me. And Heavenly, you are not a real friend. You took a conversation that Simone said, probably in a joking manner. You ran back and told Quad in a way where it was personal, where you wanted her to get upset and you wanted her to confront Simone about it, and it fucking worked. And it was crazy that while everybody was holding Quad back, because she was doing way too much, you would hear her dude in the background with the fellas counting down when Quad was going to explode. And it wasn't even funny. I thought about it at one point. I was like, oh, dang, he knows his girlfriend. But then it's just like, why even do that? Why even count down when she's going to explode? Like, you are knowing how she gets upset. And you pretty much are, like, calling out how she looks crazy when she gets upset. And I didn't like that. And did you see Yandy? Yandy's there trying to calm her down. Angel's trying to calm her down. And she's the only one that's getting pushed back by security. While Simone is on the opposite end, getting loud like Quad's getting loud with the whole I live well. Simone said, you live in a lot of debt. That's what you live in. Now, Angel was wondering, why are women of a particular age not handling themselves with class and dignity? Girl, are you new? Have you not watched this show? Neither one of these women act their age. And these women are in their late 40s and early 50s. They don't act their age at all. Okay, Angel? Now get out of here. So while Brandy and Toya are trying to calm Simone down, they were like, why would you even tell Heavenly that? You know that's not your friend. Then Simone said, I'm not even talking to her anymore. In her confessional, Heavenly said, no, Simone said, Heavenly is messy to tell Quad what I told her. So this is where I am constantly in a back and forth with wanting to fuck with Heavenly again, because she always does shit like this. When are y'all gonna get to that conclusion? You cannot tell Heavenly anything about your shit. She is not gonna hold no secrets. She'll hold hers, but she won't hold nobody else's. You know that. She gives no fucks. She's always looking to air out somebody else's problems, but then she'll get mad if somebody do it to her. That's why you gotta keep shit service with Heavenly. You can't trust her with nothing. Angel was trying to calm Quad down, telling her that she's better than this, and let's not do this. So Contessa's going all over the room, making sure everybody is saying yes, come on the girls trip. Contessa, read the room. Nobody is worrying about that right now. Did you not see what just happened? So Angel gives Simone her goodie bag, and then Contessa and Heavenly were about to take a picture, and they wanted to bring Simone in. When Heavenly put her arm around Simone, she said, first of all, I'm not finna take a picture with this fake ass girl. Get your hands off me. No, get your hands off me. Don't touch me. Heavenly looking lost and confused as to why she don't understand why Simone is looking at her that way, is expressing her that way. So then here go Heavenly doing what she does best, going below the belt. She said, don't worry about this, man. She said, I don't know why you coming at me. Don't come at me, because what you got going in your household is making you feel some type of way. Don't worry about this, okay? So then Simone's getting loud once again, saying my household is amazing. I talk about what I got going on. You fake in front about what you got going on because you don't want to be real about what you got going on. You pretend. And then Heavenly said, my man's a whole doctor. I'll win. You can't win over here, baby. I got this. What does that have to do with anything, Heavenly? What is having a doctor for a husband supposed to do? So again, Heavenly always goes below the belt and brings up husbands. But who brought up husbands? Nobody but Heavenly. You wanted to air out Simone that she got problems in her marriage. At least she's being honest about her problems in her marriage. At least she's talking about what's going on in her marriage. Are you going to address what you got going on in your marriage? Are you going to address about what you got going on in your relationship? Because let's not get it twisted though, Heavenly. Your doctor husband kept the secret that your son got arrested for 2 years, covered it up. You didn't find out until Twitter, so you say. So you can fucking miss me. Your marriage is not perfect. Your whole life is not perfect, Heavenly. So you keep on throwing stones at a glass house, ma'am. Get the fuck out of here. And them fighting words, you keep on mentioning my husband. I can talk about your husband. It is what it is. But this is the shit I'm talking about. I didn't like that at all. Like, why are we going left? Then I don't know if anybody saw Heavenly dancing in the background like she was about to get excited about this shit with Simone. And I wanted Simone to reach her. I wanted someone to beat her ass so badly. Like, how the hell do you keep having somebody like this in your life? Like, it makes no fucking sense. And this is the reason why people do not believe that Heavenly can be a real friend to anybody. This is the shit that she does. She takes personal conversations, throw you under the bus, talk shit about you. And yes, she wants everyone to be sensitive about her shit. Fuck out of here with that shit. You running for office and you ain't changed one bit. You're still evil. You're still nasty. Okay? Now, Angel is telling Simone, I'm not going to invite you into any more events until you learn how to conduct yourself. Simone said, did you talk to Quad and Heavenly before you came over here and talk to me? No, if you're not going to talk to them, then don't talk to me. I don't want to hear shit what you got to say. Now, we did see her check Quad, but she checked Quad in a different manner because Quad is her friend. So she knows Quad. She knows how to calm her down. She's getting to know Simone. So she doesn't know how to calm Simone. So all she can do is scold Simone. And I feel like she's only scolding Simone because Simone was the loudest. Even though Quad acted a whole plumb fool a few minutes ago, you only coming at Simone. Did you not see what Heavenly did? Heavenly went below the belt to bring up her problems in her marriage, and that wasn't her place to do it. And you don't see her dancing and taunting Simone? Okay, Angel. But it was a back and forth between Angel and Simone because Angel was trying to be clear and calm with Simone to tell her, can we stop it? Can we end it? Right now, can we end it? You know, Simone was still trying to defend herself because she's feeling cornered right now. I got approached by Quad for no reason, and then I got this back and forth with Heavenly because she talked about some shit that I told her. What about, why am I getting scolded right now? Did you scold them? But they ended it right there. We're done. And then Angel said, listen, I'm going to have security for the next time y'all bitches act crazy because y'all can't act right. I mean, it ain't a... I get it, Angel. I get it. But don't try to play Simone as the one who's done the most when you got other people have added into that. Because I feel like everybody played a part in messing up Angel's event. Everybody did. And everybody needs to help. And everybody owes Angel an apology. They really, really do. So that was pretty much the episode. And we know that in the next episode, they're going to head out to the girls trip. We're going to see how things end off there. And that's it. That's all. But y'all, that's pretty much it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video. And I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.